Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today I am making a really special soap. I'm going to be making breast milk soap for my nephew and his wife. Just had their first baby, not just, but a little while ago. And he is just precious. I'm so in love with that baby, and I will show you pictures as we go in the video. He's adorable. My nephew is in the Marine Corps, and he is overseas right now. And so his wife found some old breast milk in the freezer that was kind of past its expiration date, and she asked if I would make soap for her with it, and I said absolutely I will. So that's what we're doing today. She wanted a citrusy scent, and so I found my lemon curd from Be Scented is what I'm going to do. It just smells so good. And actually, my nephew's mom is my big sister, and she makes homemade lemon curd, and it is out of this world. So that's the reason I chose that scent. I'm like, I cannot go wrong with this. So breast milk soap is what we're doing today, and I will do a little color swirl in there with my Sunshine Yellow Mica, just to kind of go with the lemon curd scent. I am going to be using one of the recipes that I did in the test batch video quite a while ago. I shared 4 different recipes for soap, and I'll use one of those recipes today and leave it down below, and I will take you through how I'm doing this soap today step by step. So let me just clarify some things about breast milk soap. I don't know if there's any FDA regulations on that. I haven't researched it because I would not market this soap for mass consumption. I have done breast milk soap in the past, and I make it for that family, that mom, that baby. So I kind of, think of it as a very personalized product. So I don't sell it in my shop. I wouldn't sell it in my shop. I don't have a problem with it. I nursed all of my babies. I think it's a wonderful thing. If you're able to do it, I think it's wonderful. Fully support the nursing community. So I don't have a problem with it. Some people have like an ick factor. I don't understand that. I think it's supernatural, but to each their own. That's what we're doing today. If you have a problem with it, maybe this isn't the video for you, but if you're curious, come along and let's make some really gentle, wonderful, just for mommy and family, breast milk soap. Okay, so the first step in doing this breast milk soap is I have the milk sort of semi-thawed. It's a little slushy consistency. I took it out of the freezer and put it in the fridge overnight, so it's still sort of half frozen, and I have it in an ice bath here. And then here is my sodium hydroxide, and I'm going to be adding it very slowly into here. So let me tell you what I've got. I will leave a link for the test batch video where I share 4 really good soap recipes in detail. I'll leave that down in the description box, but I will tell you the recipe. I'm doing number 2 today from that video. It's a palm-free recipe, and it's wonderful. It has a great lather, has cocoa butter and shea butter. We'll talk about that as we go. So what I have here is 12 ounces of breast milk, and I have 6.77 ounces of sodium hydroxide. So I'm doing a little bit of a water discount with that. So let me just add this very slowly, and that way it won't scorch the milk. I'm just taking my time. So the ice bath really helps to keep the milk nice and cool as we add the lye. And if it yellows up a little, it's not a big deal, but I just want to go slow and preserve all the goodness of mother's milk for that soap. I mean, what's the point in making it? So I'm just going to finish adding the lye in here in little increments like that. It takes a little while, but I'll bring you back when it's all added in and we're ready to move forward with getting the oils ready. All right, so I've got all of the lye into the milk here, and let's take the temperature and I'll show you. So we're at 155. It's a little warmer than I had hoped, but that's okay. I'm just gonna let it stay in this ice bath as we get the oils prepped, and it'll just sit here and cool off. So let me set this off to the side. And now it's time for the oils. Right, it's time to start measuring the oils, and today I am using my Essential Depot standard size mold, and that it fits the size of recipe I'm making today perfectly. And I will share it in percentages also. So if you want to do a different size than we're doing today, that's fine. But the first thing that I need is 14.4 ounces of coconut oil for the size of soap that I'm doing today. All right, we've got 14.4 ounces of coconut oil. Let me tear out the scale. And now I need 2.4 ounces of cocoa butter. Now I need 2.4 of shea butter. Okay, this is all of my hard oils and butters, so I'm going to go ahead and melt this down, and then I will come back and add the liquid oil portion. Okay, now it's time for the liquid oils, and that helps cool down. When you have to heat up, you know, to get cocoa butter to melt, you have to heat it up pretty warm. So having the liquid oils at room temperature helps cool it back down so that the lye and the oils are relatively in the same temperature range. So I need 2.4 ounces of castor oil. All right, I'm going to tear out the scale, and now we need 26.4 ounces of olive oil. All right, so we've got all of our oils here, and we have our mother's milk off to the side cooling. And let me take the temperature of everything and show you where we're at. All right, we're going to stir it around a little bit here, make sure we get a good accurate temperature. And the milk is at 114. Okay, and then come over here. And the oils are at 92. Those are pretty close. I'm just going to wait a few more minutes. This will cool down really fast if I keep stirring it because it's still in the ice bath. So once this drops down, maybe another 5 or so degrees, I'm going to be totally happy with how close they are. Some people have a hard and fast rule. They need to be within 10 degrees of each other. I have not found it to be that specific. You know, if it's 15 degrees difference, it's really not the end of the world. But if you want to be super, you know, uptight about it, you can wait till they're exactly the same temperature if you want. But anyway, I just haven't had a problem. So I'm going to let this cool down a little bit more, then we'll get moving forward. All right, now, and while my lye is cooling off a little more, I'm going to go ahead and add my dry additives in here. So I'm going to do colloidal oats and kale and clay, and this is a small size batch, so I'm probably going to do just a couple of teaspoons worth. I normally do 2 tablespoons in my big batch, but I'm not going to even fill that scoop up. So a couple of teaspoons. Some of the rules of thumb that people use are a teaspoon of additives per pound of oils. Some people go a little less, a little more. It just depends on what you like. You can overload your soap with additives. I have never reached that point. So, you know, just do your research and see how much you like it. But anyway, that's what we're doing. I'm going to get this blended in here and let it absorb. All right, we're about ready to get moving forward, and I have my fragrance off to the side here, and let me tell you about fragrance or essential oils or whatever you are choosing to do. A lot of breast milk soaps are made unscented, which is wonderful. I know when I made this for my daughter the last time, she wanted it unscented. So the way you do it is you take the volume of oils and the volume of liquid and add those together, and you get a total number. For this batch today, the total volume is 60 ounces. I didn't include the lye weight because it's dissolved in here, so I just did the liquid plus the oils, 60 ounces, and then you look up your fragrant oil usage rate. Most of them run around 5 to 6%. Some are more, some are less, so always look it up. So if you have a typical fragrant oil, a 5% is going to be about 3 ounces for this batch. And then essential oils have their own calculator, so it depends on what essential oil you're using. So you're going to look that up. So add up your oils, Add up your liquid, and that is your amount, and then you can go and find your percentage on whatever fragrance you're using. But please be aware that not all fragrances have the same usage rate, so that's just something to really note. So this cooled down. We are definitely close to similar temperatures here, and it's a little beigey, but that's okay. Let's get this poured in here so that really pretty sunshine yellow might not show up if this is too beige from the milk, but we're going to try. We're going to try and do a little swirl in here just for fun and see if it'll come through. And this lemon curd fragrance that smells so good does discolor a little to a light beige. But so we do have some discoloration that's going to happen. Let me turn it this way. I like to put my hand over the spout so we don't get any splashes. Every once in a while it kind of goes up the spout. I try not to be a messy soaper, but sometimes you just can't help it. All right, I'm going for emulsion. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my fragrant oil in. And I've soaked with this lemon curd before, and it soaks really nice. It behaves beautifully. No ricing, no acceleration, just a little bit of discoloration, but nothing to write home about. It's not bad. So, all right, we've got emulsion, and here isn't that pretty, but it's so light. Look, it's even lighter than this. I'm wondering if this color's even going to show up, but let's try it anyway, right? We got to give it a try. So we'll do about like that. And now I am going to add a little titanium dioxide into this uncolored portion just to keep it on the brighter side. All right, and now we'll just blend to emulsion, or sorry, not emulsion, we're already there. Blend to a nice, medium light trace and get it in the mold. The next day, and I wanted to show you that even though this was a 100% milk soap, I did let it go through gel phase and I covered it with a blanket. My basement where my studio is cool even in the warmer months, which I love personally, but for soap it takes a blanket for me to get gel phase. So here's how I did it. I just put one of my Workshop Heritage lids on the top and then threw a blanket over it, and it came out beautiful. It doesn't have a lot of soda ash. It doesn't have any soda ash. It looks great. It smells fantastic. Let me tell you, I can smell that lemony scent right now. So let's get it out of the mold here and get it cut and see if we have any swirls in there. All right, so this Essential Depot mold that I got many years ago comes in this little basket, and it's very easy to unmold. I just use my thumbs to push the silicone part out and sort of tip it up, get the basket off, and then the soap unmolds from the silicone very smoothly. And it's thick enough where you can't flip it inside out, so you have to break the seal on the bottom like that and then let it kind of slide out because it's so thick it doesn't bend. But look how beautiful the edges are. This unmolds like a dream. I really like these for standard soap molds, and I'm not affiliated with them. I purchased this on my own and I just think they're great. Okay, I'm back with my single bar cutter today. This is a workhorse. I got it on Etsy years ago from Bud Hoffner at Bud's Workshop. And I think he still makes soap cutters, but I think they're metal now. But you can find wood ones. I have one in my Amazon store link down below that is a wood one, very similar looking to this. Any soap cutter will do. You can even cut this by hand. If you do cut with a knife your own soap, don't use a serrated edge. Use a smooth edge knife. It makes a nicer cut. And the thinner blade that you can use, the better, because if you have a really heavy-duty knife with a big wedge to it, it can kind of, you know, as you cut down, it opens the soap. You can have some cracking issues. So a thin knife, if you're going to be doing it by hand, is also great. All right, let's get in here. I have this set to 1-inch bar size, and we're just going to cut these up, see how many bars we can get. Oh, look at those gorgeous swirls. I think she's going to be so tickled with this, and they smell fantastic. Oh, these are so pretty. I'm really happy with these, and I think she's going to be tickled also. So they are all cut up here in 1-inch bars. They are just shy of 1 inch. I didn't set my cutter quite at 1 inch by accident. So here's my ruler. It is like literally just shy of 1 inch. But so I got 12 1-inch bars plus 2 nice big chunky, you know, sample size, guest size bars. So, and I want to show you how much they weigh. So let me turn my scale on here. And this again is the Essential Depot. So if you have a different mold, you're going to get different, but just trying to give you a ballpark of what this volume of soap makes, that recipe. So let's see. So these are almost 6-ounce bars right now. After the cure, they're probably going to be about 5.5-ounce bars. Let me try a couple random slices. Oh, that one's over 6 ounces. So these are 6-ounce bars on the cut today. In 6 weeks, these will probably be 5.7 to 5.5-ounce bars, and you get 12 of them. So that's a nice size recipe. So this is how they go on the curing rack, and I'm just setting these here. I'm going to let these air breathe for a couple of hours before I come back in with my handy dandy vegetable peeler and bevel up the edges, and I will put my stamp on here for her because she likes my logo and all that. I wouldn't need to because this is a custom batch, but I want to just for fun. So I'm going to go ahead and let these rest for a while, go get some other things done, and we will come back when it's time to bevel and clean these up. All right, I'm back, and it's time to bevel the edges on these beautiful bars. It smells so good in here. And I'm going to put them on this little plate because this is Breastmilk soap, and so I will save all the shavings, and I'll show you how to make a little soap ball when we're all done. It's very pliable because this is fresh soap. So I'm just going to save all my shavings on this plate here, and then you grab them all together and smush them together and make a little soap ball, and they are so cute. So there's a nice beveled smooth edge, which is the way I prefer to have my soaps. Here's all the soap shreds, and they are so pliable. If you have soap shreds that are a little bit drier, you can just wet your hands to do this. But if they're at all you know, gooey or pliable from fresh soap. You don't even need to wet your hands. I'm just kind of trying to grab up all the little shreds here so I don't waste any. And let's literally just smush them together nice and firmly so that they blend, you know, don't have any air pockets in there, so that it'll stick together great. And roll it around. And there is a soap ball. I just think these are so cute. And it's, you know, it's a great little size. So put that by your sink, no waste. So there it is. I'm going to get these ready to stamp. So I've got them all lined up. Well, not all of them. I couldn't fit them all on here, but we'll do these first and then I can do the last couple of ones. Here is my soap stamp that I got from Digital to Create. There's a link down below. I get asked a lot where I got my stamp, and it is specifically made for soap. It is hard resin plastic mounted on wood, but it's tall. The impression when they do the logo, it's a nice depth to it. Nice crisp impression. That's what I'm trying to say. So I spritz with, this is 99% rubbing alcohol. You can use 91%, but I got some 99. So spritz it on here, and that helps it release from the soap without sticking. So that's always nice because, you know, you don't want it to stick in there. And you just place the soap stamp wherever you want it. Give it a light tap, and I kind of like to feel how the soap is. Some soaps are harder than others. You have to whack harder on some, lighter on others. So it's just a kind of a feel thing. And there it is. The alcohol will just evaporate off. It's a little wet, but there it is, a perfect crisp impression. Aren't these gorgeous? I'm so happy. I think she's going to be thrilled. I really hope she is. So, of course, these were made with mother's milk, but you could use any milk, goat milk, cow milk, sheep milk. Get creative. Coconut milk. So you could take this recipe and make it with any milk you want, or even just water. You don't have to use milk. It's a wonderful recipe. So I hope you give it a try. And for other recipes, check out that test batch video that I have linked down below that will share several other recipes that you can give a try and see which ones you like best. So I'm just going to finish stamping all these up, get them on the curing rack, and then I will get them to my niece and nephew and family in about 6 weeks. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please consider hitting that like button and subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me today.